Hi, my name is Colleen, and I've been volunteering with the Special Olympics of Texas.
Hi, I'm Brianna. I'm a volunteer with Heart to Heart Hospice. Today we're going to be talking about client eligibility, its effectiveness, its ineffectiveness, the efficiency, its inefficiency, and its overall ethical standards in the code in the social work's care of ethics. We're also going to be talking about our similarities and our differences. Colleen, do you want to go first?
Sure, absolutely. So, Brianna, what would you say how your policy is effective?
The policy at my agency, I guess we should start by going over that. Let me share my screen with everyone. So, okay. So, mine. Okay, I'm sharing it.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. So, mine, we have a screening. So, for our screening, it kind of entails overall what hospice is. So, in order to be screened for hospice, you have to have frequent hospitalizations or ER visits, significant weight loss within 3 to 6 months, and a decline of health. The screening tool is also used to determine if you qualify for hospice based on your health conditions, and whether you progress or decline more. So, for some functional stats, it talks about palliative care versus hospice care. So, palliative care can be more long term versus hospice is when you're on those last final 6 months. Palliative care and hospice care with Heart to Heart in our program can both be used to help individuals with like their medical issues they may have. So they have a whole treatment team all in one. They have their nurse aides, they have their social workers, their chaplains, their overall health doctors, and they also get the option to have volunteers. Their volunteers can visit them, offer them support and care, whatever they need. Some of the eligibility for hospice, it also talks about the different diseases. So whether it's for cancer patients, or for people with cardiac disease, cancer, kidney disease, lung disease, dementia, as well as neurological diseases. And then other symptoms for the advanced care can be the need and desire for comfort of care, repeated hospital visits, uncontrolled pain, inability to provide care for themselves, stage 3 or 4 wounds, and then progressive decline in health. It's super easy to go about the screening online, and it also is available in both English and Spanish for both of those two languages. Another thing about the hospice eligibility program, in my organization is it's given in benefit periods. So you can get hospice care for two 90-day benefit periods. So basically, whenever you enroll, you have those two 90-day windows. After that window, you would no longer be a part of the hospice program at my organization. And after those two 90-day programs, you're also followed by an unlimited number of 60-day program periods, which those you would just have to enroll every 60 days. In order to be re-enrolled, you'd have to get checked over by your medical team, your treatment team, and everyone like that. Um, and yeah, another awesome thing about my program is its coverage. So they cover Medicare, or they can be covered by Medicare, Medicaid, Veterans Assistance benefits, and most private insurance plans. Now, Colleen, do you want to talk about your eligibility in your program?
Of course, yes. So, as far as eligibility for Special Olympics of Texas, they start out as young as the age of 2, which the 2 to 7-year-olds are considered the athletes in training. And then you have from the ages of 8 to 11. And these are the athletes that compete at area games. And then you have the athletes ages 12 onwards up into their, I think it's their mid 20s. that they're able to compete at the chapter and state games is what they're considered.
Okay, I love that they offer diversity in age. My program's a little more
Yes,
limited in age. They actually
right.
don't have any age requirements whatsoever, but they also don't mention the use of younger children or even young adults.
That's very true. I did notice that. Let's see. As far as eligibility as well, is you do have to, the athlete would have to have considerable cognitive deficiency, as well as functioning below grade level.
Okay.
So
So kind of
that
similar
I
to
found
how my program is as well. If you have unable to care for yourself or things, you can also be eligible for not hospice care but palliative care in the program.
right. See, it's very interesting to see how both organizations are completely opposite. They're different, but they have a lot of similarities as well.
No, for sure. One thing that I did take notice is yours. It's free of charge. Hospice, if you're
Hmm.
not on Medicaid, if you don't have Medicaid or Medicare or Veterans Assistance, and you
Hmm.
don't have your own private insurance, you can be left to be unable to even attend hospice care, which I think is definitely a limitation in my program.
Hmm.
Definitely like that financial gap because some people may not have access to that. They may not have
Right.
loved ones or beneficiaries that can help support them in this difficult time.
I agree. I agree. That is one thing. Special Olympics, believe it or not, they do. It's solely based off of donations
Oh,
from
that's
companies
beautiful.
and people. So that is, you're exactly right. It's not like it's health insurance or anything like that takes care of it because it doesn't. They solely rely on donations.
See, and that's a beautiful thing because I feel like such one of the limitations in my organization is because of the eligibility requirements, it can be very limiting. And since it is a lot of
Right.
government aid, they can almost use that as a
Hmm.
way to filter out clients, which I find so unfortunate.
I agree. I agree.
Um, So, why do you think your policy in your program is effective? What are some of the benefits you would say, or its effectiveness?
So the effectiveness, one would be like as far as the athletes having limitations with social skills in the community. So I believe
Okay.
this organization is great for to help them improve on that. And then another would be the fact that they have to. One of the eligibility requirements is that you have to provide medical history and
Oh, okay.
documentation. So you have to get approved by a medical professional in order to participate.
See, mine was pretty similar too. For mine, you actually you have to have your medical team clear you out to make sure that even if you do your own screening at home with a loved one or a family member or solely by yourself, you still have to get your treatment team on board with it. And I think the
Right.
treatment team could even be another way they can filter you out if maybe they have their own biases or anything against
Exactly.
the heart to heart program, they can filter you out. Or if they have their own biases towards you, they can also use that a way to filter out potential
Right.
patients.
Which is unfortunate,
No, for sure.
but it happens. Just like, for instance, speaking of that with biases, um, you have to have like to be considered for Special Olympics. It has to be cognitive.
I did notice
And
that.
so, yeah, which I found very interesting.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, it's a lot of cognitive and I noticed just like learning limitations, like adaptive
right.
skills, where a mind is focused
Mhm.
on both, it can be just purely solely medical, or it can also be medical and some adaptive skills or
Mhm.
learning disabilities as well. Once you're already there, if you have Parkinson's or Alzheimer's and you're unable to really care for yourself, you can be
Right.
eligible for that program. I feel like my program definitely had some more intense screening compared to yours, which
Oh, yes.
I understand, but at the same time, I feel like it's very limiting to patients because they may not even be aware of their eligibility for hospice, and they may
Right.
never even have the chance if they pass.
I agree.
Um, I think another limitation for my program um, could also be that it can. Yeah, and ethical. The screening on both of our programs were only offered in both English and Spanish, which is great for those
Hmm.
bilingual speakers, but it's also not available to access for people who don't speak either languages. There's also no translations available on the website besides for those two languages. So maybe
Right.
if we have people who have a different native language, they may be unable to even look at that screening on both of our programs.
Hmm.
One of the things I think is also great about both of our programs is it doesn't discriminate based on gender, race, sexual orientation, our marital status, political beliefs, religion. So I think that's another great thing that was highlighted in both of our program policies as well.
Very much so. That
Yes.
was actually one of the things that I did notice, as far as ethical wise with my policy, is that they do not discriminate. And
Yes.
it's stated in there, they don't discriminate against any eligibility requirements,
So I think that's
which
beautiful.
is great. Yeah,
No, definitely.
of
Well,
course.
Colleen, as we wrap up to our 11-minute mark, is there anything else you'd like to share with the viewers today? Anything about your program or any last final thoughts?
I think what was interesting to me were like the similarities and differences between both of our policies
Yeah,
with our organizations. And of course, you already mentioned it, but the main thing is that hospice is paid for by insurance or benefits, which my organization, once again, is
solely
solely
volunteers
donation.
and
Yeah,
donations. Yes, I
which,
think it's really amazing that our community can come
mhm,
together like that.
yes, very much so. It's
Yes.
very interesting.
Wow. As we wrap up this video, we just want to thank the viewers for watching.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
Thank you for listening to our take on our different policies, and why we think our policy has limitations and also its effectiveness. Thank you guys. You guys have a wonderful night.
Thank you.